Welcome to Coaching the Brave podcast with Yvonne Chase. I am so thankful to have you back on the show. Thank you for your loyalty. And for once a month to twice a month, I will be posting at random these beautiful interviews where people have figured out how to make a situation feel unstuckable. Yes, I just made a word. So in our military spouse communities, it is so easy to feel like we are trapped. We have to wait until our service member's career is finished in order to start our own. Well, that is not true. I am here to break that status quo and to help those who feel stuck to feel unstuck and to feel empowered and motivated to go out and start your own journeys. Start your career. Start it now. That way, when your service member is retired and out, you have a plan. You're established in your plan and you're happy. You're enjoying your life together. And ultimately, positively, this just helps to uplift those who just want to feel good in the day and hear other military spouses or service members or people who support the military hear their story and feel a sense of positivity in a world where negativity is the first thing you see in the morning. So sit back, relax, and if you find this interesting and you have a story to tell, feel free to go down into my description and ask to be on the podcast. It's that simple. And fill out the application there. Today we're talking to a mom who created a home-based business on JBLM, Washington. She's working towards opening a self-serve bakery pop-up. So let's hear her story. Thank you so much for joining Coaching the Brave community. I'm super excited to have with us a mama, a military spouse, and an entrepreneur. And for you all to hear how she has overcome and made herself her own and really made the best out of her military career here at JBLM. So without further ado, welcome Lupe Najarro.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very, very well, being a busy mom. Trying to schedule everything, but things just happen to come up.
For sure. Well, I have so many questions to ask you. The reason why is because current military spouses or active duty who are making their life happen. And I say that with the utmost admiration because oftentimes we feel stuck and that we have to wait for our service member to, his or her service to be done and then we can start our own life. But that's like old mentality. So I'm really excited to hear about how you made your own home-based business on post and how did you end up doing that?
I love that you're doing this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Southgate, California. I grew up there, was born and raised there. Do you know where Southgate's at?
I don't. Where is that near?
So that's about 20 minutes away from downtown LA and neighbors to Downey. I don't know if you've heard of Downey, California.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, it's a very small town in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And yeah, I grew up there with my 3 other siblings. I have an older brother and then 2 younger siblings, a sister and a younger brother.
Is your family, are they still down there? Are they affected by the wildfires at all?
So thankfully they were not affected and they are still living down there.
Okay, wow. Well, thankfully
Yes.
they're not.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yeah. And thank you for that, because my husband, he's from the LA area too, but we haven't branched out from like El Segundo or Inglewood, so that was really interesting to hear about. And it's called Southgate?
Yes, that's correct. It's a lovely little town.
How did you and your husband meet?
We actually met in Southgate. There was a small cafe called Cafe Kashmir. I used to go there after volleyball practice in high school, and I would also go there to do my homework, and they often had like open mic night. And yeah, that's where I met him. I walked in. It was an open mic night, and there was nowhere to sit, but there was a chair right next to him, and then he offered like that seat. I sat there. We listened to music together, and then the rest is history. We found out we had mutual friends. We started hanging out with each other, and then he eventually asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. So I met him.
That is so fun. What kind of music?
There was a lot of alternative rock.
Nice.
A lot of high schoolers would go and perform Nirvana and, those typical songs. Cliche.
Right, the cliche of like the LA type music. Yeah, I get that.
It's a sweet story.
Yes, it is. That's so beautiful. And then the rest is history. So how long ago was that?
It's funny because today is actually our 11-year wedding anniversary. So we became boyfriend and girlfriend about, oh gosh, I want to say 15 years ago.
Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wow, that's fun.
Yeah.
Were you both studying in high school or college at that time?
I was in high school. He had just graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, and during that time he was not doing anything. He was just working.
Okay.
But yeah, I was still in high school when I met my husband, and he wasn't.
Yay, high school. He wasn't, and you were. And so did he end up going to your high school, or was he in a different one?
He was in a completely different one. He lived in Compton during that time.
Okay.
Have you heard of Compton?
Yeah, that I have.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so he was there, but we just so happened to have mutual friends.
Right.
He was friends with a lot of people in Southgate.
Okay.
And that's how we started.
So cool. It's like you were meant to be. It's like serendipitous kind of moments, you know?
Yeah.
How about your time in the military? How did that come about?
Shortly after I graduated high school, I started college at Cal State Long Beach.
Okay.
And I got pregnant. And he wasn't earning much in his job, and I was jobless at the time, and, finding out that we were having a little one on the way was a little bit, stressful, nerve-wracking, and we're just like, what are we going to do? I had my son, and then shortly after he turned a year, we decided we were going to get married, and he decided that the Army would be the best decision for us.
Okay.
It's a steady job, we'll have a home, and we'll be able to move out of my parents' house and, start our lives.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why he decided to join.
The foundation of the core of what's going to hold your family together, the financial stability, the housing, the health care, the opportunities to travel, like that is so important for young families and older families alike.
Yeah, it was a huge decision that we had to make together, and I didn't really think about how, I know how you mentioned that you like meeting wives who are also like military spouses and who talk about putting their lives on hold.
Yes.
I didn't realize that was going to be such a big thing, when we first joined.
Yeah. And you hear it a lot too, especially with licensing. When you do have a professional family who comes into the military, where the other spouse who's not active or reserve or National Guard or anything, that they have their state licensure and then they move to a different state because the military needs us to move. That's hard too. So it's like I already have my profession, but I don't have that licensure ability, and I have to take the test all over again. So there are so many resources out there that have been in place because of all these unique situations for the military. And we can either thrive or we can stay in that victim mentality and just not do anything until the spouse is done with their career. And I love that, empowering and normalizing those who have overcome that, who choose to thrive. That right there is, I think, pivotal in those moments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one thing that I never really thought about when he joined.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much it affects, military spouses until
Yeah.
I was put in that situation.
Kind of walk us through like what situation that was exactly, how you found yourself in that situation, and what helped you kind of lift yourself out of that.
When we got married, I was still in college. Like I said, I was going to school at Cal State Long Beach.
Right.
And then he was given his first duty station, which was in Washington. And that's when I realized, like, oh man, like I have to leave school and then, transfer over to another school in Washington State. And then that was kind of, stressful.
Oh, yeah.
And then once moving to Washington, like I realized, like, different schools have different prerequisites. And then I had to change my major. And, it's like constantly like changing what I'm doing just to fit where I'm at.
Yeah,
and,
so absolutely.
Yeah, so that's when it first hit me. I was like, oh man. And then I finished college, and then we had to move again to Hawaii, and then from Hawaii back to California. And during that time, I was pregnant with my second child.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, oh man, like what am I gonna do with my life? Like I already got my bachelor's. Like what's next?
Wow.
So then I was in this limbo where like I didn't really know what I was gonna do. So I decided to go back to school to pursue my master's, and I thought to myself, like, you know what, like we live in the military base, like we're pretty much the government. So I decided, you know what, maybe I should just study public admin, and then I'll for sure get a job in public administration. And then I got my master's in public administration, and then we moved to Fort Irwin. And I don't know if you've been to Fort Irwin yet.
No. Nope.
It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's so hard to find childcare.
Oh.
My daughter was just 2 years old at the time.
Okay.
So finding childcare was very difficult there because you're literally like in the middle of the Mojave Desert. There's not really much to do there. Not a lot of resources. And that's actually when I started my home-based business in Fort Irwin.
Wow. Well, congratulations on your bachelor's and your master's, and, pursuing all of that while moving and having babies. Yes.
The identity crisis that I had, I feel.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out, what do I do?
I know, right? Oh my gosh. I don't know. For me, it was changing my major because I didn't want to do calculus. But for you, it was like a survival, like, okay, maybe I should do this because this is where the jobs are here. So then in Fort Irwin, when you started your home-based business, you guys lived on post.
We lived on post. There's like hardly any housing on post.
Okay.
In Fort Irwin, the nearest city is Barstow. And then we did not want to live there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far away is that from post?
There's like a really long road you have to drive to get to the nearest city, which is Barstow, and that was a 30-minute road.
Oh.
After that it's Victorville, and that's like another hour from base.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're literally in the middle of nowhere, but at the same time, you're in the middle of everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. And then Fort Irwin, you said in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Where is that again? Is that Nevada?
It's actually very close to Nevada, yes. It's like 2 hours away from Las Vegas.
Okay.
And like 2.5 hours from Los Angeles.
Okay.
3 hours from San Diego. It's like in the middle of the desert. It's still in California, though. And
then when you started your home-based business, tell us a little bit about it and, what brought you to starting it there.
Once we moved to Fort Irwin, it was, like I said, it was so difficult to look for a job. Mainly because I had a little one at home. And, when you don't know anyone around you, you don't feel safe leaving your child with just anybody.
Nope.
And, like the child care services there was like a super long wait list. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So right there in Fort Irwin, home-based businesses are a huge thing because, like I mentioned, Fort Irwin is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stores, like, they close super early, and if you're ever craving something that the commissary doesn't have, like, you have to figure out a way to make it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people started their own home-based businesses, and Fort Irwin was actually the first base where I realized that this is possible. Like, you could literally open up your business, and the base will support you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I started off by selling coffee.
Okay.
Sadly, here at JBLM, coffee is not allowed. I didn't know this until I started my whole process. But in Fort Irwin, you were allowed to sell coffee, baked goods, dinner dishes, and different things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I started off with coffee, and then a few months passed, and I was really craving pan dulce. And unfortunately, there was none around the area, so then I learned, and I taught myself, then, like, just for me and my family.
Yeah.
And then I saw a woman ask, like, does anybody here make pan dulce? I'll never forget her name. Her name is Jessica, and she was the first person to ever request pan dulce. And I told her, yeah, like, I've been practicing. I can make it for you.
Oh.
So it was because of Jessica that I started offering pan dulce, because she posted a review. We had a foodies page in Fort Irwin, and she had posted a review about my pan dulce, and then it just, like, blew up. Everybody wanted some, and that's how it all started.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah, it was such a lovely community. Everybody there was so supportive, and it was just so nice.
That's a great experience that you were able to have it so positive and supportive.
Yes, it was so lovely. And then the people there, like, because there's, like, not really a lot of options around, so you got the opportunity to cater, military balls and promotion ceremonies and all these different things, and it was just very supportive and nice.
Oh my goodness. Were you able to do that? To host and cater?
Yeah, I was actually able to set up, like, a coffee bar.
Oh, nice.
For military bars, and shout out to AO. She's the one that actually started inviting me to do them with her, because she would provide catering services, and she would cook, like, the dinners for the balls and for promotions. And then because of her, like, I was given the opportunity to also set up right there and, provide my services. And slowly, different people started inviting me to, cater coffee for their events and hotels for their stuff. And yeah, it was very nice.
That is so magical. Oh, I can just, like, go, like, I don't know, I transport myself and I try to be there with you when you're explaining, and that just sounds so fun and so inviting and just an amazing opportunity to be a part of the military community like that.
Very nice, yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Out of Fort Irwin and then moving through post to post, how does that work out? Because I haven't heard of that till I saw you, and that just opened up a whole new venue for, like, everything.
Yeah. So it was actually very difficult when we moved to JBLM, because I thought that, because Fort Irwin has this whole application and this whole, because that's the first time I ever heard of it too, in Fort Irwin.
Okay.
I thought that you would be able to just, transfer over to a different base and it'll be super easy,
Yeah.
But I guess that wasn't the case. I'm actually just finding out that my cottage bakery here is, like, the first approved home-based business on JBLM that sells food.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that wasn't a thing before. So when I started my application, like, housing kept saying, no, you can't do this, that's not allowed. I tried calling different people, and they kept telling me, like, no, like, I've been here for 15 years, and we don't allow this. And it took a lot of, like, me going up to their, office and, explaining my situation and explaining, like, my experiences with the military and how involved I've been with my business.
Yeah.
And I cried at their office so many times. And they finally Lindsay at the housing office, she listened to me and she's like, you know what, like I'm on your side and I want to make this happen. I'm gonna talk to them and see what they say. We had so many meetings, emails, a lot of back and forth. I started the process in July, and it wasn't until November that housing finally decided, okay, like we're gonna allow you. And then from housing, I had to go to the public and environmental health and to different departments around base, and then they all looked at me like, what? Like housing said yes? And I'm like, yeah, I'm the first one.
Nice.
So they told me I was their little guinea pig because they had never done this before here. And yeah, from there we all started, working together, communicating, discussing what's allowed, what's not allowed, visiting different departments. They all looked at me like, what are you doing? What is this? Like, I don't understand. Like, we've never done this before. And suddenly, like, they were all on board. And thankfully, like, I'm able to, operate here and post my advertisements and not have to worry about housing knocking on my door and telling me, like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. You are paving the way, girl. That is amazing.
Yeah. And I guess word is spreading too because JBLM has been very supportive and they've been announcing that, hey, like if you have a home-based business, you want to sell food, start this process and you're able to move, like transfer your business to a different base, like easier.
Yes.
So then that tells me that they're probably communicating with different bases as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I also heard that for Irwin, there was, I guess, high rank in like that kind of department. They visited one of my friends' home-based business, and then she discussed how I was having issues at JBLM starting my business again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they told her that, oh yeah, like we've heard about her business and her situation, like we know who she is. So that gave me reason that, they've been communicating about the issues of transferring your home-based business from one base to another and like how to make it simpler for families to do that.
Thank goodness. Oh, I hope everyone is listening and whoever is, thinking about having their own business or continuing, that hopefully it'll be a little easier to start it. And, you being persistent has helped so many already then. And will be helping more in the future. So thank you, Lupe. That is amazing.
Thank you. And if you have a home-based business out there, reach out to Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yes, she is incredible. You can find her at the Employment Readiness at MWR.
Okay.
She was so helpful and so supportive.
Okay, and that's Rochelle here at JBLM?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Oh, that is so helpful. It's like, I want to live on post now. No, that is great, though. So this is something so positive that you've been able to overcome and not give up and continue to be persistent and help yourself, and that way it helps others and pave that way for others in the future. So is there something else that you found being a positive in your military experience?
Honestly, just the community. The community has been so incredibly supportive. I've been really shocked by how much support I've gotten, and I know it's difficult, buying food from someone who like you don't know.
Yeah.
So just seeing like the amount of people that have came by and like supported my small business, like it warms my heart. It makes me feel very special.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you're helping warm their hearts too, because you're making this pan dulce for so many with the love and intent of having that craving and just having a little piece of home be able at their disposal. And how do you do your process for ordering? Because I know that was pretty unique too.
Yeah, so I'm actually trying to change it up a little bit. I started off with online ordering, but I know that some people are having issues, like they find it a little bit more difficult to do online ordering.
Okay.
So they like to send me messages, but then I get like a lot of messages, and I don't want to miss anyone's message.
Yes.
So I started doing a self-serve bakery stand where I'll bake the bread early in the morning, and then set it up by 9 a.m. so people are able to come at their own time, choose whatever they want to choose, and then they just send payment on their own.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I figured that would be very easy for myself and the people as well. And I also do custom, like, special orders where you can order by the dozen.
Okay.
That's done strictly on the website.
Okay.
And I am doing a little bit of tweaks here and there just because I know someone tried to order for, like, an office meeting, and they wanted to order more than a dozen, and they were just completely lost on how to do it. So I am going to change it so it's a little bit easier to understand.
Nice. See, the life of an entrepreneur is always tweaking, always evolving.
Oh, yes. Adjusting to your environment and your community and seeing what works for your audience.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your experience with us.
Thank you for having me. I feel very honored, incredibly honored.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I found you. Is there anything that you would share with other spouses or service members for like a word of encouragement or, any types of wisdom that you would share with them?
Of course. When I started this, I was not a baker. I had no experience in baking. I did not know anything about business or any of this, and I just did it. Like, if you ever have, like, this feeling of doing something, like, just go for it. Like, don't be afraid. It's okay to fail. Like, failure is so good because you start learning about, things that need to be changed and adjusted, and anybody could do it. Like, if I could do it, you could do it.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Absolutely. And that failure part is so important because so often we live in this perfectionist kind of mindset. And we don't get anywhere that way. So thank you for that, encouraging failure and to keep persisting.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Lupe. I really appreciate you, your sacrifices, and your endurance. And thank you for your husband's service.
Thank you, Alana, for having me here.
Yes, absolutely. And I look forward to meeting you in person. I know we're so close, so that'll be nice.
Yes, please let me know when you're going to come, and I got you.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Please look down in the description for all her information. Follow her if you are at JBLM. Go visit her. Order some food from her. Some pastries, and I'm sure you are going to love it. And have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Coaching the Brave with Ivana Chase. Subscribe, follow, and leave a message. Leave a review on iTunes and give me a star or 5 stars on Spotify. Also, follow me on Instagram at Ivana Chase Coaches and message me. I would love to talk with you. And if you know anybody who is interested in coaching with me, message me, share my podcast with them, share my Instagram with them, and I look forward to talking with all of you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this episode.